welcome back to Movie Review Mom. Thanks for spending a few minutes while I talk about a new movie that is currently in theaters. It is called Supernova. I don't have a date when it will be going to video on demand, but it should be very soon. The movie is rated R. It's an hour and 33 minutes, and the Movie Review Mom grade I'm giving it is an A. And let me tell you why. If you're new here, the way I like to format my reviews is first I give you an overview in a nutshell, then I'll point out things I liked and didn't like, as well as offer tips for parents, themes worth talking about, interesting lines, and even movie recommendations for other films that I think that you'll enjoy if you enjoy this one. All right, let's get started. So in a nutshell, Bleecker Street brings two of my favorite male actors to the big screen in this touching drama, Colin Firth and Stanley Tucci. The movie was written and directed by Harry McQueen. And when I saw his picture, I thought, wow, he looks really young. And yet there are so many insightful lines in the film. I'm impressed. It's only his second film after he did the movie Hinterland. Colin Firth and Stanley Tucci play gay lovers who go on a road trip while they're dealing with the recent diagnosis of early onset dementia in one of them. The fact that the characters are gay is really not the main element of the film, but just another way to look at the many obstacles loved ones go through in this journey we call life. It's heartbreaking and especially tough for me to watch because all of my parents are struggling with this right now. And I say all of my parents because both of my biological parents and my step parents, who later married them when my parents divorced, every single one of them is really struggling. And it is just heartbreaking to watch them mentally decline in what should be their golden years. It seems like this is also on the minds of a lot of Hollywood writers and directors lately, because a lot of movies have been coming out in the past year alone that explore this very delicate, depressing, complex, and very real issue that many face on a day-to-day basis. All right, so with that introduction, let me tell you some of the things I really liked about the movie. First of all, Colin Firth and Stanley Tucci. They're excellent as to be expected. They are really at ease with one another and show a genuine tenderness for each other. And although both actors are straight, their portrayal as a very loving homosexual couple is believable and very touching. Both deliver effortless performances as a masterclass in acting. Just fantastic. Stanley Tucci's character is interested in astronomy, which is where the movie's title comes from. It is said that a supernova burns brighter than any star, but also shorter than any star, which is like his character's life in the movie. As the men take a road trip together, you get to see some beautiful landscapes of England. And in fact, the film was shot mainly in the Lake District of Cumbria, as the Brits would say, I think, in the United Kingdom. I got to travel there a few years ago and would gladly go back. I love the UK. Some of the frames look like postcards. They're so gorgeous, shot by cinematographer Dick Pope. Colin Firth plays the piano in the movie, and it's actually really him playing. So I thought that that was really cool. And speaking of music, the music doesn't go for the easy tear jerker moments. Everything is quite understated and restrained, so British. Lovely music on the cello also. Some of the dialogue, as I mentioned, is really fantastic with profound insights, and I'll share a few of them with you in just a minute. The writing was very well balanced, giving you inspiring moments from both men and both perspectives. And I don't know which would be worse, losing yourself to dementia or losing your loved one who has dementia. It's just heartbreaking and devastating either way. I thought it was really cute when Stanley Tucci's character noted that the car's navigator voice sounded like Margaret Thatcher. There's a little bit of humor, and I'm always grateful when there is some humor to balance out all of the sadness in dramatic movies, especially. Now, there were some things that I didn't like. First of all, it's a very slow burn. And I read a lot of reviews where people just fell asleep or left early. How can you leave a movie early? So the subject matter of life and death are very melancholy and sad. And if you're experiencing this in your life, you will probably choke back a few tears. But if not, you might actually be a little bit bored. The movie ends abruptly, but very powerfully. And I was like, I love movies that make me go, Now, there were also plenty of themes worth talking about. First of all, love and relationships, of course, love and loss, life and death. There's talk of suicide. And just like the road trip that the men go on, life is all about the journey, not the destination. Let me give you some tips for parents. The movie is rated R, really mostly for a little bit of profanity and some F-bombs. You do see Stanley Tucci shirtless, and mostly you see two men in bed together. At the very beginning, you see a man with his naked leg, but you don't see any other body parts. They do get frisky in a little scene, but luckily it's dark, and so you don't really see what's going on. You hear some kissing, and then it stops. So, that's good. But honestly, kids are going to be really bored, and so will some adults. So let me tell you some funny lines and some intriguing lines. I include them all on my written report at moviereviewmom.com. So you can run over there and check those out. I'll just share a few of them with you right now. One of the funny lines is when the character played by Pippa Haywood says to Stanley Tucci's character, she says, "You're still the guy he fell in love with." And he shakes his head and he says, "No, I'm not. I just look like him." And then there's a pause, and then he says, "Which is a shame." And then some really interesting and insightful lines mostly came from Stanley Tucci's character. And he says, "You're not supposed to mourn someone when they're still alive." But they both are. They're mourning each other, the loss of their love, the loss of their future life that they were planning on having together. It's just devastating. But then another line that he says is, "Being sad when something is gone means it was great when it was there." And so I think people that are going through this need to focus on those great times. He explains that idea further when he says, "I want to be remembered for who I was and not for whom I'm about to become." And I completely understand that. And it really touched me. Okay, before we go, let me give you some recommendations for other movies that if you're in this melancholy mood or you want to explore this subject more. The first one that I immediately thought of was Still Alice. Excellent performance. And it's also about early onset dementia. Another very sweet movie is called Ordinary Love. And it's just about a husband and a wife, and they're going through the same thing, and they have to slowly let go and try to do so with grace. Two more movies are Away from Her, and then a classic movie, probably one of the first movies that really addressed this topic, at least in recent years, is The Notebook. That one will make everybody cry. And then actually, I just now remembered another one, and it's called The Father. It was just nominated for Best Picture for a Golden Globe Award. And of course, Olivia Colman as Best Actress, and Anthony Hopkins is amazing in it. So that one deals specifically with Alzheimer's, and it's very good. Be sure and watch my movie review of that movie before you watch it, because you need to know some things before you watch that. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate that. As I'm trying to grow my channel, tell all your friends, have them come visit. Hopefully they'll like what they see, they'll subscribe, and they'll stay. Also, comment down below if you have seen this movie and what you thought of it. And a final thank you to everyone who's supporting me over on Patreon. I just can't thank you enough. I really appreciate that. All right, that's it from my movie review. And with that, I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.